This process, and especially reaching for that climate neutrality, is actually a precondition for our survival, and we're very committed to that. We believe that the future has to be built on sustainable, environmentally, economically, societally sustainable agriculture, forestry, and we believe that this is the way forward, and we're very committed to that. There are very few climate change deniers amongst farmers. Well, it's quite crucially important that we have internationally approved rules. That's why we are here during this event here in Madrid. It's very important for all of us. And also here in Europe, we believe that you have to have international rules. They need to be transparent. And then we have to address the fact that the way we calculate may differ. And so to a certain extent, we have to accept the fact that farmers or any other business operators will count their own carbon balance or carbon neutrality. And then at the same time, we have to come up with conclusions, for instance, at national level. And so we need to have also rules with a double counting, in a sense that we know what we're doing and we give an incentive to operators actually to do the necessary investment. Of course, the common interest across the field, irrespective whether it's developing countries or developed countries, is to make sure that we actually mobilize these investments that would enable us to do the necessary action. But when it comes to developing countries, of course we see some need to come up with what we call green funds to specifically target developing countries and their situation, because they don't necessarily have the capabilities and access to finance in a way that they would be sufficiently efficient. And we believe that this is crucially important also for us in Europe. But on the other hand, then we have to take into account that when we talk about speed, and if we want to be active and make it sooner than later, then we need to take a look into private funding and how the private investment will be launched. And in this respect, risk funds, risk financing, access to credit in general, we need to enable this to the operators. But the problem there is that there needs to be an expectation for economic value, because we need to have a collateral. We need to have incentives, financial incentives to do this necessary action. That may be a threshold for a lot of people, because people tend to think that let's not make this as a business entrepreneur, business portfolio. But then we believe very strongly that if we need to be quick, we need to make sure that the private action is there, and that needs those incentives, especially from finance perspective. And that's why European farmers and the agricultural cooperatives are also interested in this, because we see this as an opportunity for additional income. But that links us with, for instance, the counting rules, how to do it in a way that we can actually demonstrate that there's a difference in the investment, and through the investment that actually carries economic value to the operators.